lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and with me today I have a bunch of awesome indie cartoonists with me, indie creators. We're going to be talking about Kayfabe, The Death of a Super, which is a play on the death of Superman, remixed by a bunch of awesome talent. And I'm going to let each of you guys introduce yourselves, and then we're going to dive into the book. So whoever wants to go first.
Well, this is Ben Perkins here, Kayfabe regular, and some guys know my work, so I'm really pleased to be here. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, and I'm Mark. Worked as the editor-in-chief for the project and helped get it off the ground after a couple other projects. And this was a real fun one. Glad to be aboard and really looking forward to looking through the book.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm Milo. I'm Milo T. Glad to be here. Super stoked to be here among masters. And it's a weekend night in summer in Tehran from the global public and #1. Yes.
Oh, hello, people. I'm Ariel. I'm from Argentina. I'm an artist, and I did a couple of pages for these people, and I'm really happy to be here.
Omak Vera, aka Ruben Vera. Yes, sir. Happy to be here. Happy to be discussing the book. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, dude.
Sir.
Awesome. I'm very stoked to go through this book with you. I mean, obviously, like I've had Ben and Mark on for indie creator spotlights before. I'm aware of all of you guys with your art because I'm in the Kayfabe channel too. A huge fan, excited to get into the book. Saw it fucking formulate in the group the minute Ed and Jim made their comment on a video, and you guys ran with it, and it's fucking awesome. So let's get into the book.
So Dustin Tyree did the cover for us, and Omak did the actual Red K, but Dustin did the Doomsday art piece, modeled after, it was meant to be like the poly bag of the original book,
Sure.
but then also like the Death Blow #1. Yeah, so it's kind of doubled up.
Obviously, I know who this is. Kevin Delgado. I love this cover. I love the eye coming out, still shooting the fucking heat vision.
Yeah.
That's
there was
pretty
a lot
dope.
of destruction in the book, and
Yeah.
he set it off. He was also the main artist for the DC Wrestling Superstars. So he did the main piece here. And then Crumpy, who came in late, did the 3 pieces below that are supposed to be
Nice.
kind of scenes from the game, options from the game.
Yeah, I like
Is that
that.
Vandal Savage?
Yeah, is that Vandal Savage? No.
That's supposed to be it's supposed to be Lobo and the Elongation Man.
You mean Plastic Man? Plastic
yeah,
Man.
Plastic Man.
Yeah, I like all the little nicknames at the bottom. I like the square ups like Demon and Swamp Thing. Then we get some of my favorite
stop.
pages of the book right here.
Now we got Ben. Ben, get in there.
Great page.
Yeah, man. So yeah, the first 3 pages were basically like a mock grand design of the 6 issues leading up to Superman 75. So yeah, Mark was like, we kind of need to have some sort of lead in for people to understand. Maybe like just if they're not a comic book aficionados, they're not going to know when they're fighting whatever. So we just thought it'd be fun to have that kind of lead in, like DC did, to kick off that Death of Superman issue. So I had to take like 6 issues and condense them down into 3. So each half a page is one whole complete issue. So it was a lot of fun, man. I had a lot of crazy fun times drawing Doomsday, this big hulking massive monster, like really, really tiny, like this, less the size of a postage stamp sometimes. But yeah, he's it was fun. It was a great opportunity to be able to just screw around and play with that grand design format a little bit.
Yeah, it's fun, dude, because it's like I definitely just seeing them, I immediately remembered the comics from when I was a kid and reading them, So
That's great.
I remember that point with the Booster Gold and Superman.
Right. And I trying to figure out ways to infuse my own little kind of sick humor, Superman's answering questions at a local high school while his teammates are getting beat to a pulp, and he's kind of Doomsday smashes ice through a house, interrupting a domestic dispute kind of thing. It was kind of some nutty stuff that was happening in those opening issues.
Did you say you drew this at the size of a poster?
No. But sometimes Doomsday,
yeah,
because you have to get the scale just right and the destruction. Sure. You had to draw him super, super tiny. So sometimes I was drawing him at the size of a postage stamp.
Yeah, but this is still 11 by
17,
right?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, the smaller he gets, the cuter he gets.
I know he doesn't look very menacing at times. You know,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I think his original design with that suit on is not very terrifying either. It's not till you see
I actually like this suit design, to be honest with you. When they started peeling it away, I was kind of less interested, but
Well, I just mean terrifying. I'm not saying
I
that the
see.
design
For
is
sure,
bad. He
for
just
sure.
he doesn't look menacing. You know?
Yeah. You're definitely right. The spikes help the menace for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. My favorite bit is that wall of TV screens that like get him excited about the war bash, get him like triggered to go have a showdown with Superman and Metropolis. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's really.
But yeah, I have to thank Mark for giving me the opportunity.
There's the kind of the funny kayfabe moment that him seeing that there's going to be this giant wrestling showdown makes him think there's a giant war in Metropolis he's got to go get in on.
So originally, like, I'll just say like what I thought. I guess like I thought you guys were gonna do more picking page. I guess kind of like what they did with like Weapon X, like where they took pages and they kind of remix it that way, but expanding on it. But what was the like? Because I mean, you were the like editor in chief. You corralled it all, Mark. So like, what was the? I can't think of the word right now.
Yeah, no,
but, like the way. What was the directive? Is what I'm saying in terms of
for the main story. It was like pick your page, but then blow it up, take it to 11, make it like how would Bisley have done it? Like just up the ante, up the violence. Make sure by the end of this we know there was a giant fight in Metropolis for the fate of the world, and these guys are dead. Because the original ends where you think like Superman will get up in 30 minutes. Like he just looks like he's taking a little nap. He's a little tuckered out.
Yeah, it was lame. I mean, I like that. I'll still read that comic. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it should have been way crazier. Especially if you're gonna kill one of the, I mean, arguably the most important character in pop culture, besides like Mickey Mouse, right? Like everybody knows who Superman is. I like this too, an adaptation of the Death of Superman by a bunch of kayfabers. I like that little thing you threw in there. Obviously, everybody watching that this is the creatives that are attached to the book. I slowly scrolled through that so you guys can kind of get a little peek at that. I love this image. It's so dope.
Wow.
There was a fun story. So Ben and Omak were going back and forth doing Doomsday Superman and like how they would face off at stages of a fight, and then got to this last one where Ben did Superman and Omak did Doomsday, and then just put them together. And then Omak went in and colored it, and it was a great opening shot.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for people that aren't a part of the group and don't get to see this stuff as it's coming together, because I feel like that's like an added level of like engagement and excitement that builds up the project, And while I know everybody can't be a part of it, I don't envy the people that don't get to see that stuff. And look at those nipples on Doomsday.
Yeah, let's go.
Things are staring me down. Yeah. No, this is like a great print. Like this should be made into a print. I'd hang this on my wall for sure.
Yeah.
And then we got the credits again, the breakdown of who's doing what. Got you have the ad spoofs. I like that. You got a pinup gallery, and you got some short stories, and those short stories take place after the remix of the issue, right?
Some of them are after, some of them are alt versions.
Okay.
There's like a Mad Magazine version, there's a baby version, the pinups Doomsday wins, and then 4 artists did Supermans and Doomsdays of different eras. That was like a fun little extra.
So I love this. The dialogue, was this exactly word for word how they were doing it? No, right?
No,
I like this.
No.
This builds the tension way better than it did in the comic
So
book.
I was literally on a plane going through rewriting, or like went through and just rewrote all the script and then passed it off to Peter, and Peter went through and did another version, and then we blended them together. And there's some pages that are all him, and so we went through and did a more detailed script and got some more stuff in there that wasn't really in there originally.
Yeah, I like that it's like the news saying it, and it definitely builds tension way better. I'm like, man, why didn't they do this? Like, you'd think people at DC could have thought to do some of that, but I'm not gonna knock on them too hard. Whatever, it's 30 years ago. But I love this shot by John Campbell. I think it's really great seeing the scope of Doomsday towering over Superman, which is definitely bigger than he is in the comics. I think it looks way better. My opinion.
But for drama reasons, it just it's a good quiet before the storm moment. especially with Alan just putting him through the ground
Yeah,
on the
dude, look
stage.
at that. I love Superman, but I really love seeing him get the shit beat out of him. You know, because you don't see it. Like they made him too perfect. I mean, I was listening to Rob's podcast where he like kind of briefly mentions like he was listening to an old recording of Comic-Con in 1975, and it had, I think it was Jerry Siegel's talking about it, and somebody asked him like, did it bother you how they made Superman basically like he can't get hurt at all? I can't think of the word. Invincible, completely invincible, right? And like that's not what they originally created him as. And I think that that's why this comic hits so hard, and like because you never see Superman in this predicament, you know?
Vulnerable.
Look at that. So
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony. Yeah. Not only do I love this crotch grab, he also also bought one of my pieces. So
Tony's
a shout out to his
Tony's
He's
dope,
amazing.
yeah.
And
I didn't even
crotch
notice
grab.
the crotch grab, to be honest with you, until you said it. Now I'll never unsee that.
yeah.
Just full on palmed it, dude.
It's amazing.
It's like
Wow.
in the original, like Superman's being held up, but he doesn't look that in peril, really. This one is like, oh, you know he's worried.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt that he's like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
there's a problem here.
Dude, my jewels are getting grabbed. Yeah, I mean, it's fucked up.
No more Superboy.
It's a great
Another
page.
great shot. Look at this. I love this. I
such a
love the
good one.
angle.
Great page.
And Christopher came in late. These were actually, I think, the pages Ben was going to do, but Ben moved on to doing the intro outro instead. So he was busy with those 6 pages. So Christopher stepped in on these, and both of his, he does a more interesting angle, and he packs so much in.
Yeah.
And you've got Jimmy and Lois falling out of the helicopter back there.
I like this this video game ad.
Yeah, Peter. So Peter did the art for it. And then just it was an idea I sent him, and he did an awesome job, like relaying like it's Superman getting beaten every way, not just in a fight.
Yeah, so it's literally just, I mean, the way I take it is like the whole point of the game is you're beating the shit out of Superman.
Yeah, in every way. Like you steal his girl,
Mhm.
you get his farmhouse, you legally take his costume away from him.
I don't know how it happened, but I'm pregnant. It's not yours. And he just speaks out Luther. This is another great page. I really like this one.
There's so many good pages in this.
Yeah,
I
book,
like
for
this
sure.
page. That sun just burns my eyes.
Yeah, the
And I guess
sun is crazy.
Yeah,
looking,
it's
dude.
So good.
one of the only hopeful images of the book. Everything else is pure destruction.
I know when I flip to this page, I'm like, man, this isn't very violent, you know, but it's a great piece of art.
And it's a little calm moment before it all goes wrong again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it
Safe of
gave like
things to
Jimmy and
come.
Lois a moment to kind of reflect, like, oh no, this is different.
This page is fucking awesome too.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. And this was one, there was another artist who was on it who did the layout and then had a family emergency and couldn't finish. So it got passed on to Dustin, who went and worked off of that layout and finished it up. And then Omak colored it. So it was a great one.
Yeah, I love the dialogue between the two of them too. Like I hear like how he's like, I hear their suffering, their cries, I feel their fear. And she's just like pleading with him. It's a really good page. This one too. This is a nice little calm moment as well, I think.
That was one Peter and I both really worked a lot on, trying to, like, before he goes off to die, like having a moment to reflect, like kind of thinking about everything that's happened between him and Lois, because this is it.
Yeah, the writing in this page is really good. I really liked. This is like one of my standouts for sure.
That's what I like about the book in general. It's not just salacious violence and gore. I try to craft a thing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, going off what had come before, but it's nice to have these moments, like, you know, that hopeful moment before, and then this moment going off to die. I mean, it's really strong stuff.
Yeah.
And this was John again, who had the opening page that was such a good
dramatic
moment.
So to do those quiet moments really well.
Shout out to Ray.
Ray, yep.
Yeah.
My man, Ray.
And he did the old school coloring for this, right?
So
Isn't that the whole...
Yeah, so the colorist Blake grabbed that, it's a good point, grabbed the DC palette so that he could color it up old school style.
Yeah,
Totally sings that way.
I like this one.
I really love this
Yes,
page.
sir.
It is so pure. I
And-
love those chisels, and it just reminds me of good memories.
Yeah, Ray wanted to keep it kind of like the original version because Death of Superman was his, like, that brought him into comics.
This is the double page spread that was gonna get ruined, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Alan Greenwood, who always has that, like, he's got that intense image style with all the
Mhm.
hyper detail.
Yeah, the lines,
man.
just the ink lines on here just look so fucking manic. You
It's
know?
very outlaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. This should
Very
have been Ray's first comic, not that one.
And the glowing of Superman's eyes is just, he looks fucking scary, kind of, you know, like it's definitely not a Superman that you want to fuck with. And then this Doomsday right here too, like smug, like look almost like a smirk.
Great.
Yeah.
Love the mix from this page and the page after. The mix of all the artists, and I love it.
Oh, this is Max Rex, right?
And he had, I mean, the black and white of this is crazy good too, without color, because the amount of detail he puts into just this destructive moment. It's all.
Do you have all the pages in black and white?
Yeah, in the artist section, his black and white will show up.
I know, but it's not, you know, it's like not, it's too small, bro. Like,
Yeah.
some of that.
It needs its
Yeah, black and
full-
white
on.
version.
It's
It
like
needs
you're,
a
so you're
full
just,
size.
I won't even see because my camera's blurry. It's just like you're teasing me, dude, with these like small thumbnails of black and white art, you know? No, I want to see
Let's
that.
do an artisan version.
Well, for the
Come
IndieCon
on,
in
Mark.
March, I'll
Firefly
have
Artist
bigger size.
Edition.
Yeah,
Artist
you
edition,
should.
yes.
You definitely should print like maybe like a small run of them. Just like not, you don't need to go to like a printer. Maybe you just do like in like ash can size. Even
Yeah.
that would be cool.
I'll have that for the IndieCon
I'm
March.
speaking selfishly though, I'm only looking out for myself, but I'm sure other people would want to do it. This is
Oh.
another fucking dope page.
I love this page. It's
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with Matt. I don't know if I know that name. I maybe have seen it, but it's like there are names in here that like I know but haven't talked to. But this page is really fucking awesome too. I really like the way Superman's like mouth is being squished together and like upper lip is flapping up.
Great colors.
Color job's so pretty.
Good Doomsday.
this shit's so funny. Jimmy looks like Archie.
And Lois like Marge.
Yeah, it's a great Archie Comics moment.
I like that page a lot.
And then this is
Peter.
Peter.
This is an odd page. I don't get it. It's so strange. What
Oh,
is
I
he
love
doing?
it. It's hilarious. He's taking a selfie of himself
It's
with
amazing.
Jimmy's camera, right? It's great.
Yeah.
Like Doomsday kind of looks like the dude from Big Lebowski and Jesus.
A little, yeah.
I don't know.
He's
That's what I saw when I looked at it, like a mix.
Yeah, Peter
I
had
keep
like
thinking
three
Doomsday is
versions.
recording a porn session for with himself. I don't know. It's so funny. Ooh, here we go.
Money shot right here, dude.
So
Yes.
good.
Amazing. Wow.
Just I
Yeah,
love
so-
how you use the wrinkles to describe the form. It's super. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. I was stuck on this page. I was like, man, what am I gonna do to make this cool? So I just went for it. I just did my thing, and I like the way it came out. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, is this gonna blend in?
And you color your own stuff, correct?
Yes, sir. I
This
got
is
opportunity.
amazing. Wow.
Sidebar:
I got op-
if I haven't already
Cool.
had you on for an interview and you have books that I should check out of your solo stuff, hit me up, message me on Facebook, and we'll get you on. I'd love to have you guys on for some spotlights.
That's what's up.
Sure. Yes, sir. Oh, Barry.
Barry.
That dude is so humble too. Like you tell him how good he is, he's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're fucking insane. How come you're not producing comic books? And he's just like, look at the fingers just cut off. It's
Yeah.
broken and twisted. The blood spilling out of like you don't even know whose mouth it is. Is it Doomsday's shooting up? Is it Superman's falling in? Like
It's because the stab through the mouth and the blood's coming
Yeah, dude.
out. But Doomsday's like
it's
catching
just-
it in his own
yeah,
mouth.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. This is a great
Oh,
page.
did you notice he's shooting laser with one of his eyes? The other one is closed.
Oh yeah.
I just saw it right now. Great. He's a
I just
chameleon.
love the fingers. And then
Yeah.
the lettering, the glug glug glug. Lois
Yeah.
is just puking up to the side. See, it's those moments that I like. You don't really see Lois puking in a DC comic book.
This page is so great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
this
angle is so weird.
Yeah.
It
I could
works
never
though.
make such a camera angle.
Yeah, it's definitely.
That's-
I don't think I've ever seen. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this angle before. It is interesting.
Utilizing the whole page is brilliant.
Yeah.
Really, is really great.
and there's just enough angle you don't actually have to turn the comic sideways to read it.
Yeah, you can just do what I'm doing, which is tilt your head a little bit. You know? You got some
Yeah,
rock'em
Christopher did
sock'em.
great on both his pages.
Yeah, he did. He killed it.
Absolutely.
Get these rock'em sock'em ad.
Yeah, DC missed out. Like, come on, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. You couldn't have Rock'em Sock'em Supers. Marvel
Yeah,
and
right?
DC lacked vision on that.
Yeah, this would have been a good toy.
I mean, Monopoly's done editions of everything.
That's true. That is true.
It's another great page. I love the coloring on this page.
Mm-hmm.
The stunner.
Yeah, I like that like pink magenta type coloring in the lettering. Chris face on. I know that name. That's one of the names I know from the group for sure. I like the
Yeah.
intestines just like casually like falling out of Superman.
Nice
Great
lettering on the
wrestling move.
background.
This is another great page.
Omak.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
This
killed
is-
it right here.
Awesome face. Crazy face.
Yeah, it's
Thanks.
a very crazy face.
Get a nice little
yeah,
shot
that
of
was fun.
the nip right there with the claw marks.
The
going
super
in.
nipple.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's
That's
trademark nipple there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
This
great.
is
I
one of my
like the
favorites.
minimal color in this too. I think it makes the page like
Yep.
really pop in a different way.
This
red,
is
white,
one of
and
my
blue.
favorite pages.
Thank you
Just
guys. I,
amazing.
yeah, when I was drawing this one, I'm like, "Ooh, same thing with the other pages. How do I make this fit with all the other pages?" And then I just said, I might as well just do my thing.
I think
So, but
that's
I
when you
didn't-
get the best, you know, is when you like, I mean, like just do what you're good at and don't pay attention to the rest. I think that's what makes these remix books work the best, you know?
I agree.
I like the on the left hand side with like it's shattering. That shatter effect, that's really awesome too.
Yeah, these pages
To
were
my-
great. This whole project.
Great use of the black
Hmm.
background.
Thank you, sir.
Got Ray back. I
And Ray
remember
gets
this
the-
page very well. From
Yeah,
the original one. Just the fucking like when he puts both of his hands together to slam them down.
yeah. That's such an old school TV move. They would do that in the original Star Trek all the time. That was one of the big moves. Probably because it works on camera to go like,
Yeah, for sure.
ah.
There's some Milo.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So good.
I love the blood-soaked hand
Thank you.
Superman has.
Yeah,
this
so
is-
no, I think Mark can explain better. I mean, Mark sent me a questionnaire, about 3 questions. I sent him 4 pages on it. So,
Yeah, I'm working that stuff in. Yeah, Milo was telling me that he was kind of in a way mad at Superman. Like where was Superman when his side of the world needed him? He just flew on by and didn't bother to help out.
So yeah, by the time I was working on these pages, there was a uprising where I live, and we faced a really violent crackdown on protesters, and I'll just skip through it. It was a really angry and sad time, and I needed to vent somehow. So I love Death of Superman. I know it was dull. I wanted to make it better. I saw Omak and Ben do it, and I wanted in, and then Mark made it happen, and Dr. Ben, and I just went full force venting on the pages. This is what you see.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm not an
I love-
angry person, but I wanted to treat Superman the way he should have been treated. I mean, like, we are not making the greatest Death of Superman comic. I think Grant Morrison gave him the best death, didn't he?
Mhm.
But we were just remaking what DC should have given us. I mean, only if editorial and Comics Code weren't in their way. If only they had the balls, but they dropped it anyway.
Yeah,
So,
they
I was
definitely
just-
dropped. They definitely dropped the ball on it, dude. Look at this page.
So insane.
Yeah. I mean, I live for this stuff. My first comics were Extreme Comics, like the Image comics. So I love this I can't say I don't watch too many violent movies or stuff, but in comics, you just get my money.
The eye popping out, hanging on a
Yeah.
thread, and then Doomsday's eye being ripped out. Like, this is a bloody mess, dude.
Did you color it too?
Oh yeah, I did color it. Yeah, I mean about what Mark said about there is an issue here where Superman visits Iran. This is back in 2009, another uprising. This is it. I don't know which issue. It's Avalon Falls 662. And he just comes to Iran and views the protesters. Everyone is like protesting, and he's like, okay, so I'll let the people decide for themselves. I won't save these people. I'm like, God damn it, man. Just give these people freedom in the DC universe. What the hell are you doing? At least take the weapons away. And it just flies away randomly. Like, they should solve their own problems, and goes and saves a kitty cat or some shit. What are you good for, man?
Great page, Milo.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
those 3 pages are insane, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
when
thank
Ben and
you.
I were doing the pinups, Milo did that one. I was like, whoa. So that was
No,
cool.
no.
That was like superstars, man. I was like, man, I get to draw with these superstars. That's so awesome.
Thank you, man.
Thanks,
It was a
guys.
blast working on this project, and Omek and Ben were the drivers of this. I was so inspired by these guys. They're amazing. They're my competitors, my brothers, and my masters. These two people are amazing.
I don't know, man.
I
I'm a
love
big
them.
fan of your work, Milo. So I don't know. I think
Thank
it goes
you.
both
Yeah.
ways. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Thank
are
you
all
so
fucking
much.
really talented, man, for sure.
Thank
I
you.
love these snack cakes.
Kept the snack cake ad going. I was looking at a bunch of the old Hulk ones, and some of them are very questionable about the Hulk, like starting to destroy stuff, and then like, oh, here's some snack cakes. Okay, I'll be chill for a little bit.
I know. I was just reading an old Marvel comic where they had one of those ads in it. I was like, these are fucking ridiculous, man. These would not have tricked me as a kid, you know?
If only our
Jason
problem were
Barron's
cakes.
on
This
here,
is
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Really good.
KJ
I like
did color
I like the camera lens, how you can see the reflection of Doomsday and Superman, and that's really dope.
and that was something they did in the original. Was how they were trying to add in some panels into the splash pages.
Uh-huh.
And then
Sure.
we just took it a little further by having the film shot.
And we got another Jason page.
This is
Jason
great.
actually sent me this one and said, actually sub out the other camera shot and put this in it. And I was like, no way. I'm not taking this masterwork and shrinking it down to an inch by an inch. Like, that'd just be the next page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even see. Yeah, why would you want to get rid of that? Both great pages.
Melts my eyes.
And I felt like shooting Doomsday in the mouth hadn't been done. Like, you can't get through the armor, but just fire right into the mouth.
I remember this era of DC with this. What was his name?
Blood something.
Bloodwing?
Bloodwing. Yeah, something
Didn't
like that.
it end up? I read recently, like, it ended up being Martian Manhunter,
Yeah.
like in disguise. I didn't even know that. Like, I've read
Yeah.
DC comics my entire life. I know so much about it, but this one character, I probably just like eluded me. I'm like,
Yeah. Blue
In
Beetle
the
figured
script,
it
it
out
says
during the fight.
Manhunter.
But also, if you're Martian Manhunter, why are you not helping?
Oh,
Like, you're almost as powerful as Superman. Get in there.
yeah. I know that. I think that's a lot of people's complaints. Like, really, like nobody could have helped him do some damage.
Yeah. Where everyone?
This is another dope spread that I can't. That's like not going to show both at the same time. But Anthony Andujar did a really great job on this as well. Like the scope of the destruction is really like prevalent here. I'll go back up again to just see everything destroyed. Somebody impaled on something. This is awesome.
Yeah, that was something else that failed in the original, where it seemed like the city was okay. And it's like, no way. These two Titans are fighting in downtown. Like, downtown's gone.
It should have been destroyed like it was in the Man of Steel movie. Like how they were just like tearing through the city. Like, you did it in the film, but you can't. I don't know. I think the book probably should have been bigger too in page count, I think, than what it was. I don't think it was. I think it was larger than regular size, right? But it's not.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, but it could have been bigger.
And then following up, Ariel now.
Those are my pages. Double page spread.
I love how big Doomsday looks in the foreground.
Yeah.
Just like
huge.
it looks like almost like a tunnel going into his body. Yeah, this is great. This is what it should have looked like too. And
Superman really beat up.
Lois just
face.
bloody from holding his
Yeah,
blood-soaked
of
body.
course.
Yeah.
Arm.
I love the face and the broken bones. The hands are great.
Yeah,
And
He's-
Luis is so anguished. Wow.
His
He
left
sounds-
hand doesn't even look like it's there anymore. You know, like it's crazy looking.
Great job, Ariel.
Fucking- Yeah, this is where I actually snapped. So when things were really ugly, that was the time I was most angry, and I was sad that I couldn't do anything about it. So this was a piece that it's actually a tribute to the moms and dads in my country. But again, the page that's in Superman, it's really dull. It's had this old lady and the old guy hugging each other on no specific background. They're standing. It's like they're like 100 years old, and I see Ma and Pa Kent as like they're workers. They should be healthy people. They're seniors, all right, but they wake up, they dress properly, they work, and I put all the memories on the background on the wall, so the
Yeah,
reader
no.
could understand the history of the Kent family and Clark's family. I just wanted to make it matter more than
Than it
what
originally was.
portrayed in
Yeah,
the
for
DC
sure.
comics. Yeah.
But also just describes that they're parents too, because who else would put all that stuff on their walls? But you know what I mean? Like, I kind of that's what brought home to me. That's a really cool page, dude.
The original
Yeah.
page was like Papa Kent went broke. They weren't that sad. I mean,
This is a very touching page. I loved it.
thank
Yeah,
you.
it's very
Thank
good.
you so much.
Superman is fucked.
Yeah, this
Yes,
was a
he is.
tribute to the dial-in for whether Robin should live or die. That was a fun move.
What should we do with the corpse? Encased in lucite. Slap him. That's
I
the
wish
best
this
one.
was real.
This was hilarious too. This Supergirl.
Yeah.
I always thought this was weird because, like, I went when I've gone back and reread it, I'm like, this is a very weird relationship the two of these characters fucking had, dude. Like, they'll
Yeah,
do that, but they won't let Superman get bloody. Are you kidding me?
Apparently, that's not Supergirl. It's some alien, like a
Yeah,
shapeshifter.
shapeshifter.
or
Yeah, but she was still
something. Yeah.
wearing the Supergirl outfit, so
Yeah,
they were
true.
promoting her as Supergirl, whether she was or not. They were cool with that weird shit.
It
but
was
they're not-
Luthor's fetish.
Yeah.
Supergirl
I mean-
of another world can have her relationship with the Luthor of that world used against her to trick her into having a relationship with another Luthor. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
We can't show Superman with a broken nose. That's wrong.
Yeah, that's just crossing a line that we can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was really weird to me was that there were no Lex Luthor reactions. He wasn't around anywhere. Well, where's Lex Luthor?
Yeah.
If there's anyone who's going to kill Superman, it has to be Lex Luthor, not some made-up pile of bones.
I also really don't like long hair with a beard Superman. I mean, Lex Luthor. I think it just looks odd to me. He needs to be bald. Hairless. Just hairless, dude.
He was trying to hide out,
Was-
It's
was
a
the
great
age of
promo
media.
image.
and it served as a good break before the extra ending.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back to Anthony.
Yeah, these are great pages too.
Not the end yet. Look at that face.
It's got one final
Terminator
punch.
and
So
I
he
love
got
the
a
line.
hand.
goodbye, it was a beautiful life. It's great.
Look at this fucking page right here. My God.
It's an atomic blast.
Crazy
Yeah.
looking.
Peter DeLuca worked so long on this one.
It shows.
Yeah.
It's just great. Wow.
There's so many lines on this page.
Amazing colors.
Yeah, the coloring is really good.
It reminds me of those early Evil Ernie comics where all the superheroes
It
get
does. Yeah, it does have that color vibe to it. Yeah.
It's so
Very
great.
Yeah.
This is fucked up. His head's just completely gone. Look at in the corner.
Yeah.
Right there.
Really love to do this page. That they let me to
Yeah,
do
look at that eyeball.
anything.
Just so smart though how you do the reveal within the page. It's like how you hide it in that third panel.
Mm-hmm.
It's so clever. It's so good.
Oh, thanks.
This too, this final in the bottom right, the panel right there, where like Jimmy's just like the tears rolling down his face, snot
Yeah.
coming out of his nose.
Just
That's
oozing
awesome.
tears.
Yeah.
Bring the emotion.
Great.
Yeah, it really felt like it capped off the history a lot more and the meaning that Superman had to people.
And then we get some The newspaper articles like they had in the original.
And these were all about little things that were actually in the story, but like a follow-up
Right.
to little things. So kind of a way to pack a lot more story in very little space. And Ben
No,
did
it's a cool like little like additive thing to the book that I think just makes it a fun project for sure. And like coming up with this stuff must have just been fun as well.
And then Milo and I did 2 of these where Lois has to move, what's her life like after you dated God?
Yeah.
Who could you ever go out with?
It's always fun working with Mark. He always has fun packages, and I go straight to my Archie comics and I just do what I can to make it funny. I'm not a funny guy, but Mark makes great stories. It's just fun to work on this. It's really cool.
And James did that shot of the green men who were in the fight, but like, what are people doing in this fight? It's ridiculous. I don't care if you got a ray gun and a jetpack. Like, get out of there.
The face.
I like this page too. Bad movies we actually secretly love. Superman 3. This scene in that movie was so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's John Aston Golden. He had a black and white version from a project he worked on a long time ago, and then he colored this one up.
Nice.
No.
Lord.
Great cartooning. And he wanted me to tell people he does not approve of violence to dogs. It's just a funny image. Don't anybody get it confused.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. I mean, you gotta wonder if has he cut a dog in half before?
I'd be wild if anyone was like, oh, I think this guy hates dogs. No, he's drawing a really ridiculous image.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the cartoon kayfabe in place of Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope as well.
Good touch.
Join Team Luthor. You got the Reign of
That's a
Superman.
great Milo page.
Peter did a good write.
I always liked Lex Luthor. I don't know why, but I like that. I had only one issue of Lex Luthor and Team Luthor and Supergirl. I like the costume, so I just wanted to focus on all the eras of Superman, so I wouldn't have to draw them again anymore in my life. I drew everything I had to.
I like these too, like the snapshots of the from Reign of Superman without getting like deep into it. These are great little like almost.
I mean, Reign was my favorite. Reign was my favorite run. The death wasn't that important to me, either Superman, but I liked Cyborg Superman. I liked Eradicator. They were great. I had a ton of fun doing these. These were great.
I like Connor Kent, but I think Steel was like one of my favorites from that era.
I didn't draw Steel in my collection, and Mark made me draw him because I didn't care for Steel. But Mark said you have to do it to make the list complete. I said, okay, I'll do Steel.
Yeah, there's some great Steel comics, especially Dennis Cowan and Christopher Priest have a short little run in the late 90s. Awesome stuff.
He's kind of weird to me. I don't understand him, especially that the custom phases. What are you, Shaq, or are you digital? What are you exactly?
You just hate Steel because of Shaq.
Yeah.
But it's not Steel's fault. It's Shaq's fault.
I think it's kind of an Iron Man ripoff.
That was a fun one. So basically, it was like alluding to like the Red Sun version of Superman versus Doomsday as an American weapon that was sent against Russia.
Yeah, this is a pretty fucking cool page.
Done as a propaganda poster to the people of Russia.
Really dope.
And then Doom
These
Tripper,
are some of my favorites.
He was doing all his own pages, so he already had a bunch of these, and we kind of got the Mad Magazine idea, and so he finished up his final page to wrap into Mad Magazine. And I just thought, like, how do you what wasn't there? And it's like, oh, since it's Mad Magazine, like, let's just have Doomsday, who doesn't say a word, just go on and on about his feelings.
I love the coloring on these pages too. It fucking pops.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
Great.
Yeah, his coloring and shapes are just wild throughout. And the Green Men got a lot of traction again.
This is great. Fucking helicopter just cutting the head off. I love that. So good. I just love how many like organs are coming out of the bodies in this. That's what DC was too scared to do.
Yeah, they got a little more brutal when they beat up Batman, but they weren't ready for it with Superman.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, come on. Bane. Of all the characters, Bane.
That was upsetting that Bane was the one to like break him, you know? He wasn't even
Yeah.
like that old of a character, just kind of comes in and
Yeah,
does
he
what
was
nobody
real.
else could. But I mean, whatever.
And then Jimmy's the Mad Magazine
Alfred E.
mascot at
Newman.
the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got another like propaganda type poster. This one's dope.
Yeah, so it was
Oh,
the after the fight of like, oh, Red Sun Superman died in the battle, and now we have to have a funeral for him. So it's like 2 images to kind of kick off this story idea.
Our son is dead, comrade.
And then John Ashton Golden with a silly version of the events, and Doomsday just cleverly beating all the heroes with silly versions of stuff.
I love that he flips off Blue Beetle. That's fucking fun. Grabs a Ninja Turtle, smacking Wonder Woman around.
With a turtle tail.
Oh, Jesus.
A big turtle tail.
Yeah, these are great. These remind me of like something out of like not just Mad Magazine, but like Cracked.
Just beat Batman with a picture of his mom. Then we had the baby version,
Yeah.
a sea spell, and this another one is this guy did this all on his own. It was a nice inclusion, totally different art style.
No, it's cool. That's what I love about them too, is you get to see different styles of art, and everybody kind of gets to do their own thing, and you don't exclude people. Like that's something else that I think is really dope about these projects is like when you start being like, no, you can't be a part of it, or you start to try to be like, well, your art doesn't fit. It's like if you're doing this for fun and you're doing it for the love of creating comics and you're like doing a remix of a book that meant something to you, then like to exclude somebody from doing that would be so shitty. And I know that that's never something, obviously, like you have to cap it at a certain point, that I get, right? But like, and you stop the sign up, but like that's what I love about these projects is you guys are super inclusive. Everybody can kind of join in on it.
They let us do our thing.
Then Tony did.
I like this one. This one was cool, like kind of bringing it back, like how the book had an impact on him. I thought that this was a cool inclusion. I think it's funny. Like, I mean, it's just straight up calling out speculation. People thought this book was going to be worth money. It ain't worth shit,
Yeah.
And it's funny because I didn't have the black bag and I picked it up because I wanted to open it just to see what was inside. And I, for whatever reason, just still haven't like opened it. But this made me want to go look for it in my boxes and open it up.
I remember lines at the comic book store, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Also, really
crazy.
dug this piece by Anthony Andijar, also like talking about his experience with the book. This is also really cool to include.
Yeah, and he was hitting up how he loved it was after the death. The Reign of Superman was just like the thing to him when he was a kid because it was just so wacky and there's just all this ridiculous stuff happening.
I think I had to have been like 6 or 7 when the death of Superman happened. So I was like young, but I remember more of the after effects of the death than I do the stuff that preceded it.
We got a quick pinup gallery, but they're put in order as to tell a story where Doomsday wins. That's John again.
Dope. Marvin Law.
This was such a good one. Manuel.
It kind of has like a Mike Kunkel vibe to me, a little bit. But like a little darker. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that. But the face on Superman kind of reminds me.
Yeah. It reminds me of like Simone Bianchi, kind of. If that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Dustin Tyree again.
Things. We'll just skip the artist section, but we can get to the last couple things. Another great one.
This is really good too.
The crown.
This is great. It's so uncanny valley.
James Windsor Smith, Wonder Woman just holding Superman's head.
Cradling. Yeah, roll past the artist section. We'll have to.
Oh yeah, this is all the black and white stuff that Mark didn't print to size, but he will. It's just so good. Look at it. Like I love color in books, but like man, to get to see the line work is like it's just a different experience, And that's some extra stuff that's included as well.
Extra art piece. I think James is next.
And then you talking about putting this all together.
Yeah, there's different people's parts of it, and all how it reminded me how much I loved Superman as a kid when we started working on this stuff. John again, one more pin up. felt good to have a happy one there. These are all these little ad pieces that James did on his own. So
Yeah.
real fun together.
Then this is going to be all the links to find people.
Yeah.
And then we end with Ben, right where we started.
Yeah, that was a crazy idea. Mark was gracious enough to allow me to try, as I wanted to kind of have the end starts at the beginning. So I was researching the first 6 issues. I was looking up Doomsday's origin, and it was just too crazy to not include. And I didn't know if anyone else knew about his origin. So I was like, hey, Mark, I know this is like 3 extra pages worth of work, but I can do it. I'll have it done. But I got to tell this origin story. And then the last panel is him busting out of the containment center on Earth, and it can wrap around to the first panel at the beginning of the book. So I thought it was a really cool idea, and it was a lot of work. That was a lot of work for this pages.
It was cool, but it took me a shit ton of time to do.
It was a lot, but I mean, I just squeezed it in like moments at work and after work and before work, and it was fun. It was. I'm super happy with how it came out.
No, you did a killer job, dude. I love it.
Thank
and
you.
I don't remember Doomsday's origin, so now I have it right there for me. So I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
right. And it's all
Yeah.
this again, the grand design treatment. It kind of seemed natural. So
Mhm.
And then John Bishop had that pinup up there where he did the whole battle in a single image.
yeah, I love that. Love it.
And then the last thing is Crumpy's back page.
Sick.
And he was a killer last minute addition, but it was an awesome piece.
Dude, yeah, definitely. This. Do you still have copies available? Can people still pick it up, or is it just digital? Okay, so you still have physical, you still have digital copies. I'm going to drop the link to that as well. I'll have the links to everybody that was a part of this project down below if you guys want to follow them on social media. Get out there, support their stuff. They have their own comics too that you should get out there and support. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for taking time to do this with me.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and like I said in the recording, if you guys have whoever has not had a spotlight with me, will definitely get that on the books. I definitely want to talk to you guys more one-on-one. And yeah, everybody get out there, pick up the book, follow them, follow Comic Lounge, all that good stuff. And guys, we'll do this again sometime soon.
Right
All right,
on, man.
sounds
Good
great.
seeing you guys.
Awesome.
Dude.
Have a good